Today, we're making acorn baskets because it's the perfect little decoration for autumn, and it's also a good gift that you can give to somebody, like maybe a teacher or somebody that you know. You can stuff these with chocolates or pencils for your office, you name it. I love these. Let's get started. You're going to need one medium skein of t-shirt yarn. I get mine from Hooked. It's about 65 yards. And you're going to need a size 12 millimeter hook. You're going to start with a magic circle. So you're just going to loop over your fingers like that and cross it, and then pull this loop under, stick your hook in there, and then make a chain. And then you're going to do 6 single crochet in the circle. Okay, and then you're going to pull your tail tight and you're going to slip stitch to the first. All right. And then you're going to chain 1 and you're going to do 2 single crochet in each. Make sure you have plenty of yarn. Okay, and that's going to give you 12. Now you're going to go underneath your loop here and slip stitch into your chain. So by going underneath this loop, we're going to hide it basically. So I'm going to go under and through and come all the way through to slip stitch. All right, for this round, we're going to chain 1 and we're going to make a single crochet in the same space. That counts as a stitch. And now in my next stitch, which is this one here, I'm going to do a knit stitch. A knit stitch is just where you go inside of the single crochet instead of underneath the top 2 loops. So I'm going to go in between the 2 little legs and like so, and complete my single crochet like normal. And it looks like it's kind of knitted, and I really like that stitch. So this round we're doing 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 all the way around for this increase round. So going in between the 2 little legs in the next one, I'm going to go in, yarn over, come through, and another stitch in the same space. Okay, in the next one, going in between the legs, that's 1. Next one we're going to do 2. Great. Next one, we're doing 1. Okay, next we're doing 2. Next we're doing 1. Next we're doing 2. Next we're doing 1. And keep going all the way until you have an 18 count. Okay, now we're going to do our invisible slip stitch join. So I'm going to go underneath my loop and into my first stitch. So going underneath this and going through. There we go. All right, now we're just going to be doing the sides. So this is the bottom of your little basket, the bottom, and we're going to chain 1, and then we're going to do 1 knit stitch in every stitch around. So I'm just going to go in between the little bitty legs. There we go, and my chain 1 counts as the first stitch, so this is the second one, and I'm going to go into every single stitch around. Okay, and now I'm going to do my invisible slip stitch join. So I'm going to go underneath and through my first stitch. Okay, and now this is a good time to actually sew in your end. And I like to use the plastic tapestry needles whenever I'm working with thicker yarn, especially t-shirt yarn. It's just so much easier to get through everything. So Otherwise you can use a metal needle that's not pointy. It needs to have like a dull tip. Okay, and don't worry about this. No one's gonna see it. It's in the inside the basket. I'm just gonna cut this now. Trust me, it's better to do this now than later. Now, you got your first row like this. Okay, and then we're gonna chain one, and we're gonna do the same thing going to every stitch around. Okay, so we're just gonna be doing the same thing, and we're gonna do 7 rounds total of this. So 7 of the side rounds. This is our second round. And if you wanna make the basket, I'm sorry, if you wanna make the acorn, that's the shorter version, you can stop at row 3 or row 4 of the sides. It's however tall you want it to be. All right. This is how tall it is here compared to, this one here. Okay, this is 3 rounds, this is 7. All right, so keep going around until you've done 7 rounds. You can put a stitch marker in if you want, and I'll meet you at the top. All right, so this is what the basket looks like after you've done 7 rounds, and I have cut and tied in my ends, and now we can put that aside and work on the top. So get out some yarn. You can do a contrast color if you want, or you can do the same color. I really like the contrast color, but with this little white one I made, I just liked the same one. I don't know. Okay, so you're going to get out your yarn and you're going to make a slip knot onto your hook. I'm going to show you what we're going to do. We're going to start with the stem. So you're going to chain 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now you're going to go down your chain, doing a slip stitch all the way down. So you're going to skip the first, go into the second, and I like to go into the back bumps. So this is the front of the chain. You turn it over and there's like these little bumps. I tend to do that. So you're going to go down, just slipping through. Okay. There we go. Now, what you need to do is you need to do 6 single crochet at this very bottom part. So where I just did my last slip stitch, I'm going to do 6 single crochet. So I'm going to go in, yarn over, come out, going to go in, come out, and like so. Now I'm going to flip this over towards the back, and I'm going to go around this way. So I'm going to pull up maybe a loop over here, and I'm going to go through this loop instead so that I can have a stem that's kind of sits up straight. I'm going to pull up a loop, and I'm going to go through there and do a single crochet, and then I'm going to pull up another loop over here, do a single crochet, and then another one maybe over here, single crochet, and then I've got to slip stitch to the beginning. So my very first one, I got a slip stitch to there, which looks like right here. There we go. Now you have this little top right there. So now we've got to increase just like we did for the basket. So when you start with 6, you got to increase by that number for every round. So it'll be +6, +6, +6. So we're going to chain 1, and in my stitch here, I'm going to do another single crochet because my chain 1 counts. In the next one, I'm going to do 2 single crochet, And I'm going to do that all the way around. All right, and I'm going to slip stitch into my chain one space. So this is my first single crochet, and here's my chain one space. I'm going to slip into there. And I'm going to go ahead and tuck in my yarn to hide it. Okay, for this round, chain one, and now I'm going to do my knit stitch round, right? So I'm going to do another stitch in the same chain one space. In the next one, I'm going to do one knit stitch, and the next I'm going to do two, so that I get up to 18 stitches. And I'm going to go all the way around and do that. So one knit stitch, two knit stitches, one knit stitch, two knit stitches. Okay, and that'll give you 18. Then I'm going to do an invisible slip stitch join. I'm going to go under here, through there, and pull all the way through, and that's 18. Looks like a little topper. Look, it could just be sitting on top like that too if you don't want it to go across the edges. All right, next round we are going to increase just slightly, not a total of 6, because we want it to be snug around the top edges. So I'm going to chain one, do another stitch in the same space, so another knit stitch. Then I'm going to do 5 knit stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Then I'm going to do an increase here. So I'm going to do 2 in the same space. Single crochet increase. Then I'm going to do 5 single crochet. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now I'm going to do another increase here. 1, 2. Then I'm going to do another one here. 5 more all the way across till the end. Okay, I'm actually running out of yarn. Don't worry. If you run out of t-shirt yarn, there's lots of ways to combine it. The best method is with a sewing machine, but there's a much quicker method, which is to just go in. Let's say this is my last stitch, and I'm just going to put this over, lay it over my hook like that and pull it through, and voila. Okay, then you can go to the back and you can tie this into a knot and be done with it. That's the quick fix. If you're making like a Christmas gift for somebody, get out the sewing machine. I have a tutorial on how to combine t-shirt yarn, the best method for it. And you can do it if you're making like a gift for somebody where you don't want to have any knots. But honestly, you can also like stick that knot in there and no one will ever see it. Okay, so this is 21 and I'm going to slip stitch there. Now I'm going to do a round of knit stitches. So I'm going to chain one, go into every stitch around. So my patterns are all sold patterns because it's one way to support me as a designer and keep on making videos to teach people. And one idea for somebody, if they're not really keen to buying patterns, is you can buy a pattern to give as a gift to somebody. So let's say that you have a friend who's been wanting to learn how to crochet or wanting to do something new, learn a new skill. You could buy a pattern, wrap it up in a nice bow, put it in a basket with some chocolates, and that's like just a nice personalized gift that you can give somebody. Okay, so now our top is starting to curve a little bit. Let's do another round. Another round of stitches. You're the one who's going to be giving this to somebody or putting it in your house, like in your entrance way and everyone's going to be like, oh my gosh, that's adorable. Did you get it from like William and Sonoma or whatever the hell that store is called? And you're going to be like, no, I made it with my own two hands. Now we're going to do a round of slip stitches. What do? You don't chain one and increase and go up. You just go straight into the next stitch and come all the way out. So you're going through, coming out, and you need to make sure that you're using the full shaft of your crochet hook. That's the key to not having super tight slip stitches. If you've noticed, if you crochet for a while, you'll be like, why are my slip stitches so much tighter than my other stitches? It's a tendency. Because people will use this part of the hook. That's not the size of your hook. Your hook size comes from the shaft. So you want to make sure you're using all of that so they're not super tight stitches. And you'll help yourself out like that. It's taking longer than I expected. I've got to buy groceries. I got to clean my house. Here I am teaching you people. Okay. We have come around. I actually have one more to go technically, but I'm going to do an invisible slip stitch join there too. Let me show you, girlfriend, what you're going to do with this. It's important when you have really chunky yarn that the details are killing. So you're going to pull through your yarn, get your tapestry needle out, whatever you want to call it, and you're going to go underneath the next, so not this one, the next one, underneath those two loops and pull through. And then you're going to come back up and go through the top of your finishing stitch and kind of sew it together. Make sure it's nice and even. And then you're going to flip it around and you're going to go through and sew in your end. And whenever you sew in your ends, you really got to go back and forth in different directions. That's going to help it not come out. Okay, like a couple times. I say 3 times is a charm. And all right, this is how you make the top. And now it's super cute. Look at this. I love it. I love it. All right, so I have some different brand name tags. I have different colors and I'm going to figure out which one to use here. So I got these from Etsy and I put my brand name on there. And I kind of feel like this one is not enough of a contrast. Maybe this brown one, or no, that's too dark. So I think this is a good one. So you just like stick in the, if you want it to go in this direction, I stick this in at the top. This is that finicky part where like if you have nails, you might break a nail. Watch it. It took me to be 36 to learn how to not break my fake nails. Okay, so I'm just going to choose like any side and I'm going to stick it in here. I just love these. I think this makes a great touch. You don't have to write your brand name on there. You can write like made with love or from your daughter or, from your best friend, from your dear friend, something super cute like that. This is one, the contrast color one that I made the other day. Look. And then the white one, which I also really love, which is my daughter's piggy bank. Look at this contrast one. Look at that. Isn't that adorable? This color. Some people, well, what's been in fashion these days is like decorating your house with like neutral colors, like whites and creams and things that go with everything. But it's just also nice to have the actual real color. Look at these. I love them. Give them to your friends. Give it to the teachers as an appreciation. Give it to your tennis instructor. I don't know. It's just a nice little touch, and you can put things inside of it, whatever they like. You can even give it to your kid as a gift, or let's say not everyone celebrates Halloween. You could just celebrate autumn. I don't know, put it on your table. Like when people come over, you could have like several in the center of the table and like have little things in there. I'm satisfied.